On Small Cap Power today, we're talking to Frank Basa, the President and CEO of Canada Cobalt Works. Frank, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So, Canada Cobalt Works is the only one drilling underground in the prolific cobalt camp of Northern Ontario. How is this significant and how does this benefit you?
Well, in the cobalt camp, the only way you can really find the cobalt and the higher grade veins is you have to go underground. The veins in the cobalt camp are not as simple as most other places. They're not just straight, they're going east-west or north-south. They go in all kinds of directions. So you have to go underground, you have to be able to find them, and you drill them, and that's how you find the higher grade cobalt values.
Just looking at the broader picture, how important is cobalt today in the world? Give us a snapshot of the demand and the current prices.
The demand is actually, we have no cobalt now. You know, we spent some time in Asia. I was in China about a year and a half ago. I was in Japan. I just came back from Germany. The reality, there's not enough of cobalt to meet demand now. Not in the future now. The prices actually, it's kind of surprising, actually they'll stay low. You know, actually the price of cobalt sulfate right now, that field is being controlled by the Chinese. They'll keep it low, and you know, so much better for the battery manufacturers or car makers. But the reality, there's not enough of cobalt. So what they're doing, they're replacing the cobalt with other metals in the lithium-ion battery. So they're adding nickel, manganese, and copper right now.
Not enough cobalt and not enough conflict-free cobalt as well. Canada could lead there.
The conflict-free cobalt actually is still leaving there, still being used. Canada has significant cobalt deposits, but they have an undesirable in it. It's actually, most of them have arsenic. We also have the same thing in the States. And actually some of the other properties we've looked at around the world, they all have some undesirables, which we can take out. It's not a thing that's impossible to do. We can take it out. And then, of course, we can also produce the cobalt sulfate that the market wants.
Okay. Canada Cobalt Works has developed this unique metallurgical process called Retox. How does it benefit your operations?
See, basically what we're doing is right now, we're skipping the smelters. We go directly from the concentrate to the end product, to the end user, which is client specific. So the client says, oh, you want 21% cobalt with these levels of impurities, we can do that for them. As far as I know, we might be the only ones doing that as well on a global scale.
Okay, and recycling old batteries, that's also in the pipeline?
We had a look at recycling old batteries. We did a fair amount of test work. They're extremely labor intensive. One of the things we do not recycle or recover is the organics out of the batteries. And apparently a lot of these car manufacturers want us to recycle the organics. We have not developed that yet to recycle the organics.
What are your development goals for Canada Cobalt Works?
We're doing what we call real time. And so what we're trying to do all at the same time, we're actually applying for permits to build a mill on a property, maybe a 600 ton per day mill on a property. We're also carrying on with our underground. We're going to start dewatering and going through the levels to carry on with rehab and drilling. So we'll be developing a resource. And then, of course, we're working on locating where the best place to install this leach plant refinery to produce cobalt sulfate. So we're doing three things at the same time. We're kind of targeting about a 2-year time frame to producing product for the market.
If you were to speak directly to the shareholder, how do you plan to bring value to them? And what is your vision for Canada Cobalt Works?
Well, the vision for Canada Cobalt is actually be a producer and actually be a toll refiner for other people's with product. We're looking at custom milling. We'll be having the only mill in the cobalt camp. And of course, we're going to try to build a leach plant somewhere, either Canada or Asia or Europe, to treat everybody's products.
Okay. And how will you build shareholder value?
Well, delivering results actually every 2 weeks when we start telling the story. So it'll be a combination of drill results, a combination of test results, and of course, you know, getting our permits in order.
Okay. And what are the next few steps at Canada Cobalt Works? What can we expect from the company?
Well, there'll be some drilling results coming out. The labs are very busy. Basically, the way we do our analytical, we actually do 3 assays per sample, and that gives you a more representative number coming out. So we'll be getting drill data from underground. And then, of course, there'll be some news coming out about this custom mill that we'll be building. And, of course, the ongoing delivery of product to the Asian and European buyers of cobalt, nickel, manganese, copper sulfates.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time, Frank.
You're welcome.